Safeco Field, actually a few slivers of sunshine tonight as Jeep presents the Marlins and the Mariners. It's game 2 of a 3-game set last night. It was all Seattle. There's the sun. Nice to see it. Come on inside Safeco Field. Let's get ready for a big night here. Rich Waltz along with Todd Hollinsworth. All right, we've got Marlins, we've got Mariners, emails and tweets. Of course, it's Tuesday as well. And the Marlins want to get back on the right side of things. Last night was a tough night for the ball club.
Yeah, they looked a little flat. There's no doubt about it. A little over-aggressive offensively. Obviously, the pitching was, they were kind of playing from behind early. Saw the Mariners. And, well, let's remember, we walked into this. The Marlins walked into this. You got here, 3,000-mile airplane trip. And this Mariners team was playing really good baseball. So let's not forget that as well. They came out and played a good game last night. See if this Marlins team can respond.
Well, our research department was hard at work after they woke up this morning. It's the longest distance between two major league cities, going Miami-Seattle. Remember, the Marlins had that 4-game series against the Mets, thrilling series, had a 6-hour game. Did not have an off day coming in, and they found, our research department, teams playing in Seattle after playing in the Eastern time zone the previous day, 4-12 since 2012.
Well,
what do you make of that?
There's definitely some evidence that tells you teams struggle when you've got these distances and you change time zones. What I would also add to that is just the unfamiliar character that is part of this. I mean, we talked about it early in the ball game. There wasn't a whole lot of knowledge that this Marlins team has about this Mariners team. Now you could say, well, neither do the Mariners. Well, I mean, it goes both ways, and I think that's just the way that you look at it. What I sensed last night was a Marlins ball club that came out and wanted to be overly aggressive, and I really saw that in their offensive approach. And what it turned into was obviously a Mariners win. I think they're going to settle in tonight. They realize they're here. They're on the West Coast for a week, and they're going to play a better ball game.
What I would add to that is that's why they have Starbucks here. That's why they invented Starbucks here. All right, pitching matchup. Wei-Yin Chen looking for a bounce-back effort himself.
Well, I think what's going to be real important for Chen tonight is getting that leadoff hitter in every inning out. If you go back to his 2 starts, did a fantastic job in start number 1. Start number 2, terrible.
Giovanni Gallardo, the Marlins know from other places in the National League, especially Milwaukee, he's had incredible success against the Fish. Look at those numbers, a 1.90 ERA in 8 starts.
Well, but if things have been a little different lately, so we'll see. You're absolutely right. Those numbers don't lie. That's history speaking. But again, not a tremendous amount of history with this particular group. So we'll see how it goes. I think this Marlins team is ready to respond. There's some good numbers in the lineup against him. Hopefully they can get the offense early.
And we hope you will respond as well on a Twitter Tuesday. Look out, Justin Bour, Christian Yelich, Jessica Blaylock catching some fish at the market.
Look at that sucker.
With the Fish, Marlins, Mariners, Safeco Field. In Seattle, down below, the very brave Jessica Blaylock. Jess?
Hey Rich, it is our first road edition of a Twitter and email Tuesday, and tonight it is all about staying up late. Late Night with the Fish is going to be our special hashtag, so be sure to use those on all of your tweets and emails. As always, you can send your tweets to @FoxMarlins. Your emails can go to foxmarlins@gmail.com. And don't forget to use tonight's special hashtag, Late Night with the Fish. And speaking of fish, when you come to Seattle, one thing that you absolutely have to do is visit the fish market. So earlier today, we grabbed Justin Bour, we grabbed Christian Yelich, and we headed over to Pike Place to explore the fish market and actually catch some fish. Justin Bour and Christian Yelich, it's the first time that they have been to Seattle, so they said that the fish market was the one thing they absolutely wanted to do. Yelich was the most confident. He said, I can catch the fish in one attempt, so he went first, and he did it. But next up, it was Justin Bour. Let's see how he did. He gets it too, so we are 2 for 2. I had to get in on that action. I could not disappoint the guys. And guess what? Nailed it. It may take me a while to get that fish smell out of my jacket, however. After that, we went to the famous gum wall, but uh-oh, don't step in any gum. Oh, too late, Justin. You've got some gum on your shoe. And then we capped off the day with a visit to the Steelhead Diner for some clam chowder made with Pacific Razor clams. What a great day at the fish market. A really good first trip to Seattle. But now we've got a baseball game to play, and the Marlins are looking to bounce back after dropping game 1 of this series last night. Chen looking to bounce back as well after struggling in his last start. Coming up next, it's first pitch in game 2 between the Marlins and the Mariners.
Ready to go, Perry Hill, D. Gordon. And the Marlins offense tonight. Lineup looks this way against Giovanni Gallardo. It's brought to you by Southwest. Gordon, JT Realmuto is the DH tonight. Christian Yelich in center. Giancarlo Stanton is in right. Justin Bour at first. Marcell Ozuna in left. Derek Dietrich at third base. A.J. Ellis gets the call behind the plate. And J.T. Riddle is in there at short. And here is D. Gordon. And here is Giovanni Gallardo. First pitch. Gordon rips it. Right center field. That ball's deep, and it's in the gap. Gordon thinking 3. It's a clean hop for Dyson, and that holds D. Gordon to a double. his third double of the season. And the Marlins, a decidedly different feel to the start of this game as to last night's.
Well, elevated fastball right out of the gate, jumps all over it. Gallardo does not get that two-seamer down. D. Gordon off to the races. Good swing of the bat right there.
Last night, the Marlins didn't get their first hit until 2 outs in the 4th inning. Gordon opens with a double, and now Real Muto, Yelich, and Stanton will try to give Miami a lead. Marlins will try to get him over and get him in. Outfield not very deep for Real Muto. And Gallardo spins towards second. Third start for Gallardo this year.
Yeah, you see the numbers right there. 6.30 ERA, 10 innings, 6 walks. Has also given up just as many hits, and he has had his struggles and his issues early. He's actually throwing harder than he did last year. Fastball velocity's up, and a lot of people believe that he's actually throwing through his break that he normally has at a lower velocity. Usually throws the two-seamer 90, 91 miles an hour. He's throwing 93 right now.
You could see Real Muto on that pitch really trying to go to the right side. And we showed you the numbers that Gallardo has against the Marlins. Some of that is older history, and as you pointed out, first inning issues for him right now.
Well, Gallardo's having a real tough time settling in, and this is over last year with the Baltimore Orioles, and now here with the Marlins. Got an 8.61 ERA in that first inning.
The pitch misses in. Mike Winters is the home plate umpire. Mark Wagner, Mike Malinsky, and Marty Foster. Mike, Mark, Mike, Marty. Those are your umpires tonight.
I'm going to leave that for you all night long.
All right, 1-1. Let's see if Real Muto can, at the very least, push Gordon to third. D, not a big lead. And JT takes a breaking ball down low. And it's 2-1. Real Muto, of course, player of the week in week 1. Yesterday, Marcell Ozuna was named player of the week in the National League for week 2. And Real Muto struck out a couple times and lined out, but he had a lot of company last night. Miami managed just a run on 5 hits. JT shoots it into right field. That's a base hit. Haniger up with it. Gordon will hold, and the throw is cut off. That's terrific stuff right there from JT Real Muto.
In the 2 spot tonight, JT Real Muto, beautiful swing right there, gets the elevated fastball. You see it up out of the plate, but then it becomes about execution and thought process. Stay through it and drive it the other way. That's what he's trying to do right there, and get D. Gordon to third base. Hit it a little too hard to pick up the RBI.
Well, here's Yelich now, and so you've got Gordon standing on third. Seattle's infield, Motter at short and Cano at second are back for 2. Seager's even at the bag at third, and you can see Danny Valencia holding Real Muto at first. And Yelich takes a strike. Christian Yelich last night homering to the opposite field, his third of the season. And that the only run of the night for Miami.
Well, his last 3 ball games, 4 hits, 2 homers, 4 RBIs. In fact, has had an RBI in 5 straight ball games. RBI situation right here.
Pitch is up. By the way, the Marlins lineup is without Martin Prado. Remember last night Prado came out late. He came out with a cramp in his calf, and as a precaution, Don Mattingly does not have him in the lineup tonight. Prado wasn't happy about it, but understands that you want to make sure he's ready to go. Of course, that was his first game of the year after being on the disabled list for almost a month with the hamstring injury.
Well, it'll be. Yeah, I'm real curious, and again, this is a hard one to figure. Remember, the Marlins do have another off day coming up after tomorrow's day game. So again, there's another built-in off day there. You may see him get 2 days off, whether he likes it or not, just because of the situation.
High chopper. This is going to be a tough play, and they're not going to get anybody. Yelich is across. D. Gordon scores, and Miami has a 1-0 lead. That's a base hit for Christian Yelich. And an RBI.
Well, let's rename it the Seattle chop, will you? I haven't seen one this high off home plate in quite some time. But as soon as that ball leaves the bat, you see how high it went off. Everybody went to get the baseball. Nobody covering first base. Easy base hit for Christian Yelich.
Christian Yelich now 6 of 7. Major League average is 48% at getting runs home from third base with less than 2 outs. And here's Stanton now, and there's still nobody out. And here's that first inning thing for Yovani Gallardo, staring Seattle right in the face.
Well, let's throw them out there once again. They seem to be working. 8.61 ERA, and is the first inning of 23 starts. This was going back to last year. 29 hits, including 7 home runs as well. So again, having a hard time finding the movement on his two-seamer.
Breaking ball and a good one there. It's 1-1. Justin Bour on deck. A lot of rain in and around Seattle. You did see some sunshine right around game time. There's a little bit of it left, but clouds around, rain today, roof is closed. And that fastball from Gallardo misses in, and it's 2-1. There's a look at the Emerald City, former home to Todd Hollandsworth as a teenager.
Current home to you as an adult.
Occasional home to me.
Well traveled.
Periodic rain. 2-1. That one is fouled out of play. I think that was a early Pearl Jam album name, Periodic Rain. Let's see what Gallardo goes to now with 2 strikes on Stanton.
Well, the game plan for all the Marlins hitters already in this ball game is get Gallardo up. You've seen the aggressiveness at the top of the zone. Stanton, good numbers in his career against Gallardo with a home run, .313 batting average.
There's the high fastball, and Stanton fouls it back.
I think this is a deliberate game plan. You watch them. You want to get them up. That two-seamer down is where Gallardo's at his best, especially late. He wants to keep the ball on the ground, but early throwing through that two-seamer, you're not seeing the sink. You're seeing it elevated. This Marlins team ready to jump on him.
That was his Wednesday start against the Astros. And it's held by Seattle catcher Carlos Ruiz. And Stanton strikes out. Chooch in the American League. Here comes Seattle defensively.
Let's see that Mariners defense. Already is going to get the start in left field tonight. Dyson moves over to center field. Mitch Haniger. Game hitting streak is going to be in right field for the Mariners tonight. Seager, Motter, Cano, Valencia around the infield, same as last night. Rui's going to get the start behind home plate. Yovani Gallardo on the mound.
Justin Bour now. And Bour takes a fastball up. Bour last night was 0 for 3. Last 2 balls hit hard, and that for Bour is something to cling to right now because the hits aren't coming. He had a big home run in that Mets series. He's in a big spot here with runners first and second and 1 down. Gallardo gets a strike, and the count evens at a ball and a strike. What's the way out for Justin Bour from what you've seen in 2 weeks?
Well, it's funny. I was just listening to you, and I was thinking about his disposition today. I was watching him at batting practice, talking to him a little bit. He is in a good spot mentally, and I know that the numbers would tell us something different, that easily you could be down on yourself or you could be feeling sorry for yourself for your circumstances. He is not looking up at the scoreboard, not looking at the numbers that are down this early in the season, just really focusing on getting good contact right now, and I think that he's in a good place to break out.
Gallardo got a strike out of Stanton. He's 1-2 on Bour. And he bounces it up there. It seems odd to see Carlos Ruiz wearing a Seattle Mariner uniform. I mean, he was a Philly for so long. Yeah, and I know he was a Dodger at the end of the year, but this totally different league. Backup catcher to Mike Zunino. And as experienced to guys you'll find behind there. 2-2. Bour gets jammed and lifts it into shallow center. Motter is back. Dyson is in, and Dyson makes the catch. And if Gallardo can escape this with just the 1 run, he's got to feel pretty good. And he still has to get Ozuna out. Auto Nation will scout, along with the help of Todd Hollandsworth, Yovani Gallardo.
Well, you see it right there. Fastball, sinkers, and sliders. He does have a good sinker and a very good curveball to go along with it. And you've seen it early. That sinker is his bread and butter, though, and that's what he leans on. And here in the early going, you've seen it elevated. He needs to get that down to be successful. We talked about his struggles in the early inning already. We've seen it, and if he settles in and starts getting a ton of ground balls, that's what he wants to do. Again, you see the velocity, 92, 93 miles an hour. So still throwing the ball very, very hard. He's thrown a lot of innings in his career.
Marcell Ozuna to left field and deep. Heredia back at the wall, leaps, and he got it. Guillermo Heredia robs Marcell Ozuna of a 3-run homer and a tip of the cap from Ozuna. How about that? Miami has to settle for just 1 run. Is leading off in the bottom of the first, and he's atop Seattle's lineup. Scott Service handed this lineup card in with Heredia in left, Mitch Haniger, who's hot in right, Robinson Cano, you know, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Nelson Cruz popped a homer last night. Kyle Seegers at third base. Taylor Motter homered the shortstop. Danny Valencia, University of Miami. Chooch, Carlos Ruiz will do the catching, and Gerard Dyson, the speedster, is in the 9 spot. And the Marlins are hopeful that this is Wei-Yin Chen 1.0 and not Wei-Yin Chen 2.0, because game 1 against the Mets was really, really good. Game 2, not so much. And the fastball is lifted. Bour racing to the rail, reaches, and unable to get it. That one was tougher than catching the fish today, and I hope you had a chance on Marlins Live to see Justin Bour and Christian Yelich at Pike's Place Market.
You see right there, he's on that little corner. 2 walls come together. Might have had a better shot if it was the straight edge right there, but unfortunately about 3-4 rows deep.
So it's a ball and a strike. Heredia getting the start here tonight in left field. Big breaking ball and a chopper to short. That's Riddle out there, and a quick release is in time to get Heredia. And a nice segue to Miami's defense, which has been tremendous this year.
22 games errorless for the Marlins infield defense. Let's take a look at that Marlins defense. Marcell Ozuna, Christian Yelich, Giancarlo Stanton around the outfield. Derek Dietrich, Riddle, D. Gordon, Justin Bour. A.J. Ellis gets the start tonight. Wei-Yin Chen.
And JT Riddle is out there, and that's one of the reasons the Marlins kept Riddle after Sunday's game, is they wanted at least 2 who could play shortstop. Miguel Rojas, obviously. Echeverria's not off the DL yet. And especially, Don Mattingly said, with Martin Prado coming off the DL, you weren't sure how he would respond. And if you lost Prado for an extended time, then you're really thin. But having 2 guys who could play short was a key to making that move.
Well, and with Prado going down, looks even wiser right now because of the situation that he's in right now. You don't want to see Prado go back to obviously to the disabled list, but it would have been an entirely different situation if they would have done something different with their roster, which they could have conceivably done. It was the right thing to do, and it allows them to get Prado through this cramping or stiffness, whatever you want to call it, and see where he's at in a day or two. Buys him some time.
Fastball up from Chen. Mitch Haniger, the hitter, and Haniger has been lighting it on fire for a Mariners team that has just received its wake-up call from 2017. They've won 4 straight. They've looked good doing it. A little pop-up. It's going to trail out into center. And Yelich is there. He'll make the catch. What do you expect to see from Wei-Yin Chen that you didn't see his last time out?
Well, and it mentioned it a little bit here at the beginning of the ball game. You go back to that first start, and you talked about the difference between start number 1 and start number 2. Start number 1, he was outstanding. He got the leadoff hitter in every inning out. In start number 2, simply and plainly did not. Innings 2 and 3 were not very good. You see the numbers right there. Career at Safeco Field, outstanding. 2.81 ERA, 5 starts. This is his 6th. So there's good history here. He's had good success against these Mariners hitters. He needs to stay aggressive and get that first hitter out.
Well, this is a guy that really started things last night, right? And Robinson Cano, who had a good battle going against Tom Kohler in the first with a runner on, and then blasted one 441 feet to right center field. And he sends that one to right center. Stanton is over, and he's there and makes the catch. And Wei-Yin Chen goes 1, 2, 3 through the Mariners. Hey, emails and tweets coming up, kids. But I don't think so.
A little bigger than Neil.
Yeah. I think Neil Young's a Blue Jays fan, right? He's Canadian.
Yep.
All right, here in Seattle, Rich Waltz, Todd Hollinsworth, Jessica Blaylock, getting ready to throw out the inaugural tweet of the night as Derek Dietrich climbs in, bottom third of the order against Giovanni Gallardo, and a foul back over the screen. Dietrich in at third. We told you Martin Prado, a precautionary night off. Prado is available to pinch hit and is available to come into the ball game if needed. Busted bat, and that's going to float over Valencia and on into right field. And Dietrich's got a hit. Miami has the leadoff man aboard again against Gallardo.
Well, the aggressive theme has stayed with this Marlins team. We talked about it an awful lot last night. Didn't go so well, but working tonight. You see how aggressive they've been on the early fastballs that they've gotten from Gallardo up in the zone and finding some green grass.
And last night it was Seattle, first 4 innings against Tom Kohler. Leadoff man on. Kohler was in hot water the whole night. And with Gallardo struggling in the early innings, this for the Marlins is a good sign. They're able to put pressure on him right now.
It's exactly what you want. You want to stay aggressive with him. Don't let him settle in. Get to that two-seamer down in the zone.
Fastball in to A.J. Ellis.
A.J.'s got outstanding numbers against Gallardo. Kind of pegged A.J. I thought for sure he would be starting tonight. 5 for 10 in his career against Gallardo. See it right there. So good history.
And a good night to get Real Muto in at the DH spot as Ellis fouls that one back.
Perfectly placed right in the middle game of the series. Get A.J. behind home plate. JT a night off, but keep his bat in the lineup.
And a strike. And the count 1-2. A.J. a long look down to Freddie Gonzalez, Miami's third base coach. We've got Dietrich at first. JT Riddle is on deck. And Gallardo chases Dietrich back. That one fouled at the plate, and Ellis goes for a walk. You wanted a first tweet? Here it is. First tweet. Jake tweets in. With Prado back, why do the Marlins still have a 4-man bench? Well, that was the design originally, with a bullpen backing up a starting staff that Marlins were hopeful it would be bullpen heavy. And so they've started this 2017 season with a 4-man bench. So they're back to it. Although Don Mattingly said they'll continue to monitor that as the season goes along. Ellis into left field, and the numbers hold. It's funny how that works, right? I mean, A.J. Ellis hasn't seen Giovanni Gallardo in a while, and yet he is 6 for 11 against him.
Well, I hope you and I do this for a lot of years together, but I'll sit here and tell you, baseball players, we're goofy. We think this way. It doesn't matter what that history tells you or when that history was, whether there's some separation in time between appearances or at bats. When you see 5 for 10, your confidence goes up before you ever get in the box, and you feel good about what you think you can do that night. It's just the way we think. It's how the game works.
All right, so think this one out. What are you doing with JT Riddle here in the 9 spot? Gordon on deck. Riddle squares, takes a fastball up.
Well, I'm thinking right along with him. This is a good spot to do it. Right? Remember, T. Gordon swinging the bat, jumped on a first pitch fastball already. Got Real Muto at the top of the lineup. This thing turns back over again. This isn't National League Baseball. This is American League Baseball. Play for a little bigger lead early in this ball game, and then maybe open it up. If you ask me this question in the 5th inning, I'm giving you a different answer. But at this stage of the game, I think you're playing for a few more runs early in the ball game.
D. Gordon's on deck. And Riddle trying to bunt, pops it foul. And that's the other part of Jake's tweet, or the answer to it, when you said this is the American League, not the National League. There's a vast difference in leagues in terms of roster and how it's assembled. 4-man bench in the American League is pretty easy to do.
Everybody does it.
You don't change. Yeah. And so then you get 8 men in your bullpen. But oftentimes you don't have as many pitching changes in the American League because you're not having to make double switches.
Right.
There's a nice bunt. Gallardo hesitates, then throws, and it's just in time to get Riddle. Second and third, one out for D. Gordon. Burgers and beers. Who doesn't like that, right? Well, they're back at Marlins Park. Marlins and Pirates. A 7:10 start on Friday, the 28th of April. Go to marlins.com today. Now D. Gordon singled in the first. And let's see what the Mariners do with their defense. I think because there's a runner at second up the middle, they're going to be back, and they are back. Corners are in, middle is back. Gordon is hot. There's a gorgeous bunt. Gallardo fires to first. It's picked. And Gordon is out. Dietrich didn't budge from third base. And that may have caught him by surprise, the bunt. And so just like that, second and third and one out turns into second and third and two outs.
A lot of looking around going on right now. Yeah. That is a safety squeeze, folks. You saw it right there, but in order for a safety squeeze to work, it's got to be on both guys. Both guys have to be involved, and I think it was just a really, really tough read.
And you get a sense Gordon did that on his own. Here's a pitch to Real Muto. To the screen. Here comes Dietrich, and he rushes home with the run. So Miami gets a run out of it. You don't see too many balls get by Ruiz, but it did. And so it's 2-0 Miami.
Now this is a breaking ball down in the dirt. You see it right there. Ruiz has a hard time, goes to the backhand, really just securing it. He probably should have secured it and kept it in front of him, but misses it right there. And the Marlins are going to get off the hook right here. Excuse the pun. But after the bunt and the safety squeeze, or however you choose to look at it, there was a chance the early base hits, they weren't going to score any runs this inning.
Real Muto singled his first time up. Takes a strike, and it's a ball and a strike.
Yeah, getting back to that safety squeeze, it was a good bunt by D. Gordon, and there was definitely some looking, kind of back and forth across the field there on how that was supposed to go. But I'll say this, without knowing the answers, because it's virtually impossible for us to know these answers, everybody's got to be on the same page for that play to work. And that's the simple answer, is that everybody wasn't on the same page.
Well, Ellis is now at third, and Real Muto's in a hitter's count at 2-1. And JT fouls it, and it's 2-2. Gallardo is 31 now, and he had a really nice run in Milwaukee. 8 years there, an all-star. His career ERA was is 3.80.
Got 108 wins to his ledger in his career.
He's had a nice run. Seattle's hoping he's got some run left in him. 2-2 pitch, chopped towards the shortstop. That's Motter out there. Fires to first in time. Miami gets a run and stretches the lead to 2-0. Baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile. Clayton Richard ordered 24 long-sleeve pajamas for last night's overnight flight from Atlanta to San Diego, and the Padres host the Diamondbacks tonight at Petco Park. So Padre players had their PJs on the flights. Marlins will be making a late night flight out of San Diego. So maybe if they've
see if it works.
If they've got, we can get the number from Clayton Richard. We could dress the whole TV crew in pajamas. Don Mattingly and the Fish up 2-0. Wei-Yin Chen goes after Nelson Cruz, Kyle Seager, and Taylor Motter. Tweet from Daniel wants to know, does the cool temperatures and the humidity affect the flight of baseballs? In this series, Daniel feels balls look like they're jumping pretty good.
Very good question.
2-2, great pitch by Chen. He looks sharp tonight.
Yep.
He strikes out Cruz. All right, so what's the answer to that?
Well, the answer is it depends on who you ask, really. I mean, this is the old humidity question. I played in Colorado, the humidor, and Arizona, obviously throughout the National League. This question comes wherever you want. Now, the funny answer to it is that somebody will tell you. I don't know if there's actually a 100% correct answer. The truth is, a lot of times you'll see the ball jump. I firmly believe, and I've always believed, that the warmer the temperatures are, the better the ball flies, regardless of the humidity. Now, I played at Pro Player Stadium. I hit more than my share of doubles off the wall that I thought were home runs that didn't get out of the ballpark. But then I would blame it on the humidity at first, and then I realized it was probably just me, and it's a really big ballpark.
Well, look, in this case, in this series, I think it also depends on who's hitting the ball.
Absolutely, that's my point as well, right? It's like when I say it depends on who you ask, I mean that's the truth. It really is, because there have been so many players that have come through Seattle. I was talking to Jay Buhner earlier today, one of the Mariner greats, hit home runs in the Kingdom and here. I mean, Ken Griffey Jr. did it. I mean, there have been home run hitters here as well. Nelson Cruz continues to hit for power. Edgar Martinez. I mean, yeah.
Ball in the air. Dietrich in foul territory makes the catch. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Marlins, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of the game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Miami Marlins. 2 outs here in the second. 2-0. There is Jay Buhner. Learned something I did not know today, that Jay Buhner's minor league roommate was Freddie Gonzalez.
Third base coach.
Yeah, when they were both in the Yankees organization. Remember that trade that infuriated George Costanza's father?
Mm-hmm.
How can you trade Jay Buhner? He's got a rocket for an arm. What was the answer from the guy playing Steinbrenner? Ken Phelps.
Ken Phelps, right. That's right. Ken Phelps, sure enough.
Mm-hmm. Buhner working on radio and TV tonight here in Seattle. Still an icon here in the Northwest. There's Freddie. Taylor Motter reaching.
Well, so far here in the first 2 innings, Chen is in a great rhythm. You watch how he's stepping. He's stepping with purpose and conviction, using all of his pitches. The Mariners hitters look off balance right now. They're fooled by his change in speeds.
Taylor Motter, left field, and it's Ozuna who makes the catch. 1-2-3. Chen's retired all 6 he's faced. brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By your South Florida Chevy dealers. By Jeep. Get great deals on the Jeep lineup at the Jeep Spring Clearance event. And by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. This is a very cool place to go. If you've never been to this corner of the United States, the Pacific Northwest, Seattle. Christian Yelich stands in. And Yelich takes a strike. Yelich hit I want to say about a 50-foot high single off the plate that popped way up and landed behind the mound. That was off of Gallardo back in the first. Miami got a run in the first on 3 hits and a run in the second on 2 hits and a wild pitch.
See those great numbers right there, 383 when leading off an inning. Talked about Gallardo's issues so far tonight. 2 for 2. Marlins are getting on base, leading off an inning. Good combination right there.
Yelich rips that one to right. Haniger can't get it. It lands in front. Yelich not slowing down and then puts on the brakes after Haniger digs it out of the grass. Another hit for Yelich. He's 2 for 2. And that brings up Giancarlo Stanton.
You see Christian Yelich right there. Breaking ball out over the plate, up in the zone. Great swing. Line drive almost carries all the way out to Haniger, who tries to make a shoestring catch. Able to secure it. Wisely keeps it in front of him. And this is textbook, kids. Watch this. Comes around first base, turns those jets on to see if he can do it, and then breaks it down. He realizes the wiser move is to pull up right there. It's exactly how you want to round first base.
Here is Stanton now. And Giancarlo, center field. Dyson. Yelich is tagging. Yelich will hold. And Stanton is out, number 1. Okay, emails and tweets. Let's throw one in here. This is from Bart in Wesley Chapel, Florida. Watering the infield. When did this start and what's the purpose? They even do this in the minor leagues. It's the dumbest thing he's ever seen. Bart, as a former shortstop, I can tell you that you probably haven't played infield because it is a necessity in watering the field, dragging it and watering it to minimize the bad hops and the nasty stuff you can get on a very dry and lumpy infield. In fact, today, as an illustration of this, I asked Perry Hill, I said, Perry, how's the infield? Because it's the first time Miami's been here since 2011. He said, great, nice and wet. And when it's wet, it's slower, and the bounces are much truer on because there's a lot of clay. It's more of a clay mix and dirt on the skin part. You get lots of clay, hard clay, around the plate in the mound area. So Bart, a lot of it is safety. Keep the infield as damp as you can. Make sure it's dragged, make sure it's raked, and you'll get better hops.
You see the speed of these balls coming off these bats nowadays? Giancarlo Stanton at 115 miles an hour with an unpredictable infield. Oof. That's the #1 complaint of all infielders, every team in it that I've ever had.
Dry and hard.
Would be dry and hard and, not predictable. Obviously.
Amen. But a good question, Bart. Bour takes out. Concerned fan, Boone and Carabel want to come down to Bark at the Park. Don't see it on the schedule. There are 2 of them. June 3rd against the Diamondbacks. It's Bark at the Park #1. And then August 27th, a Sunday against the Padres. It's Bark at the Park 2. June 3rd and August 27th. And on August 27th, my partner, Todd Hollinsworth, will be participating, and I believe it's the first yoga on the diamond. So I know you've got your own personal mat and your own trainer, and you like the really the hot yoga, don't you? That pitch is inside.
Maybe.
And it's 3-1. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I signed you up for that.
Thank you.
Because the guy came through with a sign-up sheet the other day at Marlins Park, and you weren't in the booth. And
it's all good. We'll figure it out.
I signed up for Margarita Night in the Cleveland
right.
And
you signed me up for yoga night.
And you got yoga night on the infield. So hang with him.
Can I bring Mars?
Sure.
Oh.
Bour crushes one left field. That's deep. Heredia back. Opposite field. Justin Bour. And the Marlins stretch the lead to 4-0. Todd Hollandsworth said in his first at bat, you liked his mental state, and he was in a good spot despite not having great results.
And that's the key to getting yourself out of a slump. It absolutely has. It's the number one thing that Frank Menachino, that your hitting coach, anybody's going to tell you. Don Mattingly, anybody would whisper in your ear. The mental state, it's so important, and when you're struggling, it's the first thing that wants to go, and he was in a good state, and he's a great state right now. Let's see that swing one more time. Wow, fastball up and away. Great swing. Even a little swagger as he came out of that, and that's good to see right there. That's what I'm talking about. Usually, believe me, I was known for this. Wear those emotions on my sleeve sometimes too much. If things weren't going my way, I'd be, not necessarily pouting, but I'd be kind of frowny-faced.
The bullpen guys love it.
Hey, those are great teammates right there. Everybody feels for you. Everybody knows that you're going through a little thing right now early in the season. They want you to get going, and when you do, they feel great for you.
And they were excited out there because that ball landed, I believe, right over their heads. That was over the Marlins bullpen in left field.
Well, I'm going to give them credit because that's their teammate, and they wanted to see him do that. I think that's where I'm going with it.
Cano on to first in time.
They're happy about the homer, but they're happy about who hit it.
I would concur with you as well. Yehuda has this email. Hey, what's up? I thought the Marlins were planning on sending JT Riddle back down after the Mets series. I was at the 16-inning game, and I said to my dad, hey, give him some time. And then he gives us the win 2 games later. I'm a big fan. Here is Dietrich. Yehuda. Here's the reasoning behind that. It was not an easy decision. The Marlins needed, and most teams need, to have at least 2 players who can play shortstop. And that's why they kept Riddle, because Echeverria is still on the disabled list. Dietrich out by a step. But how about Justin Bour, opposite field, 2-run shot. And tonight it's Miami who's off to a 4-0 start.
jumped out to a 4-0 lead over the Mariners. Hey, a really cool moment earlier today for Don Mattingly. He actually had the opportunity to meet a young fan named after him. Take a look at this little girl. Her name is Mattingly Noel. The skipper came out of the dugout, took a picture with her, and then after that, he sent her home with a very cool souvenir. He autographed a ball for her. I had a chance to talk to Mattingly. She said that she absolutely loves her name, and guys, for short, she goes by Maddie.
Ah, that's awesome. From one Mattingly to another. Pretty cool.
Pretty well said. Nicely done.
Second
I like
year.
that name.
Second year with the Fish. Obviously, she's got a little
Mattingly for a girl. Maddie.
Right.
That's a great name. I like it.
4-0. Marlins on top. We have emails and tweets tonight as we stroll through. It is a late night with the Fish. We understand that back home it's late. So for you kids that are staying up, we appreciate you hanging in, and we'll give you plenty of fun during the night. Ted in Panama City Beach is watching. Liner to left. Ozuna there, and he makes the catch. Wei-Yin Chen, complete opposite from his last start against the Mets, has retired 7 straight to open the game.
Well, not only retired 7 straight, 3 for 3 in retiring that first hitter. We talked about it last night. We talked about it in Chen's last start and how big it has been. He's making pitches right now, down in the zone, no walks, no trouble.
Carlos Ruiz. So we hope all things are well in Panama City Beach. Great beaches there, great sand there. And Ted, don't get into too much trouble. Thanks for joining in on the show.
Well, Ted should be enjoying this one so far.
Chen misses in. Carlos Ruiz has had quite a career, especially for a guy that was not considered a prospect. That had to get the endorsement of Charlie Manuel to get to the big leagues. And once he got there, he wasn't thought of as the best catcher the Phillies had. But the more the pitchers threw to him, the more they grew to like him. And he was a fixture behind the plate for some great Philly teams with some dominant pitching staffs. Chen misses in, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. He was an all-star in 2012. A guy that always seemed to come up with a big hit. Was a very good postseason, especially in the World Series. He played in 2 World Series with the Phillies. Won it in 08, lost to the Yankees in 09. And in 11 games, a .353 average, .488 on base, .706 slugging. That was Carlos Ruiz in 2 World Series. In the air, right field. And Stanton is there, and he makes a catch. This season, Half Price Tuesdays return to Marlins Park. Save up to 50% off tickets for every Tuesday regular season home game. Visit Marlins.com and save big with the Half Price Tuesday offer.
Jared Dyson hitting 9th tonight. Hitting leadoff last night for the Mariners.
Charlene wants to know, hope you guys are enjoying a fine Seattle craft beer. Greetings from Winnipeg. Gerard Dyson. Marlins saw him last night. He had some big moments in the game. Pulls it, just foul. Had an RBI double, walked and scored a run last night. Seattle won the opener 6-1. Scott Service banged around the big leagues as a catcher, mostly in a backup role. Gordon goes to get it. Little flip to Bour. And Wei In Chen is grooving right now. He's retired all 9 that he's seen. Tomorrow is an afternoon game, 3 o'clock for Marlins Live. South Florida Honda dealers, get you ready. Craig Minervini, Jeff Nelson host. A sit down with the legend, Ichiro back. Nice standing ovation and a very nice presentation for his 3,000th hit here in Seattle last night. Jessica Blaylock will visit with him, and then Edinson Volquez and the King. King Felix. That's a great pitching matchup, and that's tomorrow. 3 o'clock Eastern time. Here's Gallardo matched up against A.J. Ellis. Jessica Blaylock joins us now. Jess, you had a chance to sit down with Ichiro. What did you learn, and what was your talk about?
I did. First off, what an incredible honor to be able to sit down one-on-one with Ichiro. So thank you to him for his time. And really our conversation was focused on looking back at his time as a Mariner. We talked about everything from that transition from playing baseball in Japan to playing baseball in the United States, the transition from moving from Japan to the United States. And one of the things that I was really curious about was, you know, what are some of his favorite moments from his time here in Seattle, or what did he take away from that experience? And he said, you know what, there are not a lot of teams that had as much success as we did, won 115 plus games. He said that was one of the things that he really cherishes most, but really a great conversation, and I cannot wait to show that piece tomorrow.
Oh, we're looking forward to it. JT Riddle second at bat, and that's the swing he took against the Mets. Of course, he hit the ball about 400 feet, and the Marlins walked off to take 3 of 4 from the Mets on Sunday. Riddle shoots it right to third, and Kyle Seager is there to make the catch. All right, Rick in South Dakota. This is a good one, and Jess, I want you to think about this one too. Rick from South Dakota, if you had to drive from Seattle to San Diego in a car, pick one Marlin to invite for the road trip. Everybody. You can think about it for a while. Here's D. Gordon.
Well, I think I know my answer already. I would take Robinson Cano with me.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
You said one Mariner.
I said one Marlin.
You said one Marlin? Well, if I had to take a Mariner, I'd take Robinson Cano.
Okay. What about Marlin?
Well, it makes more sense. I was wondering why you asked me the question. That's why I looked at you, why I had to answer it.
All right. I must have missed.
Maybe I misheard you.
Maybe I misspoke.
Well, if I get to take one Marlin?
So we were like D. Gordon and Derek Dietrich there.
Right.
We didn't have our signals straight.
We did not have our signals straight.
No. I didn't know. You didn't know that I was.
I was all ready
bunting.
to tell my Robinson Cano story with his dad. Is what I was about ready to do right there.
All
I
right.
thought, well, we'll tell that later. There's
All
no
right,
need.
but no.
You want my
Jess,
answer?
Yeah, you know, take your
Yelich.
time.
I'll take Yelich.
Yelich, really.
Yeah, there you go.
I have my answer ready as well.
Okay, go.
Wow.
I will go with Justin Bour or Ichiro. Or can I take both? Because
No.
Ichiro and Justin Bour together are so fantastic.
No.
I have to pick one.
Yeah.
I'm going Ichiro then.
All right.
Because the stories he could tell, what I could learn about baseball from him. And he's funny.
Now, he does speak English, but he likes to use a translator, so that may include that. Over for it. A nice running catch by Guillermo Heredia. And a 1-2-3 inning, the first for Giovanni Gallardo. Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by Kubota. For more information or to find a participating dealer, go to FloridaKubotaDealers.com. By Jeep, get great deals on the Jeep lineup at the Jeep Spring Clearance events. And by Kaiser University, learn more, kaiseruniversity.edu. How cool is that shot?
Emerald City.
I'm assuming, was that a Space Needle shot down into downtown? Heredia shortens to bunt. As Chen is out in front 0-1, and he's been out in front of just about everybody. You see first time, second time, third time. High pop. Gordon makes a catch. So Chen has faced 10. He has 6 of 10 first pitch strikes, and he's retired all 10.
Doing a very nice job of getting ahead of hitters, and it's just so important to set the tone for the inning. You get that first hitter out, that any trouble you get yourself into, or potentially after that, you still feel as though you're 1 out away from getting out of that trouble. And when you've seen this Marlins rotation, and this is collective, this isn't just for Chen, when you struggle to consistently get that leadoff hitter out, you put yourself in a position where you're going to have to work hard, and you factor in the home runs. Those have been the blow-up innings for Marlins pitching this year, is when they've really just not been able to get the leadoff guy out.
Here's Haniger, and he takes a strike. All right, to finish Rick's question, pick a Marlin to ride with from
Not a Mariner?
Seattle to San Diego. I go with Ed Lucas.
Wow.
Because Ed's an Ivy Leaguer, and you can't text and drive. So if I had any questions that required Google, I wouldn't need it. I'd just have Ed. Ed, what's the capital of Oregon? With a shift on Haniger gets it off the end of his bat, and it ends up in Bour's glove, who was the only guy over on the right side, and he hit it right to him.
See, the joy that I take in wanting to take Christian Yelich with me is the fact that this young man, he's so impressive. He's so humble.
I think you just want to. I think you want a wingman.
I want a cool wingman. Is that right?
Yeah.
But no, listen to me. He's so humble, but he doesn't realize. I really don't believe he realizes how good he is in this game. And I think he's just starting. Like last night was an incredible example. And I told him today, I said, Christian, that home run you hit to left field yesterday for a left-handed hitter, I said, 5 guys a year hit that ball. Nobody does that. I said, and he looked at me like, really? Like he was surprised at what I'm saying. And what's so great about watching him grow up and still kind of grow into his career is that I think great things, really great things are going to come his way, and he doesn't even know it yet. And I kind of enjoy telling him about it. Like, I mean, I've seen a lot in my, these old eyes don't lie, but I don't think he knows how good he is.
Well, you'd have like, what, 17 or 18 hours to do that.
Well, yeah.
From Seattle to
Throw
San
Robbie
Diego.
Cano in the trunk.
Yeah, well, we're going to get to the Robbie Cano and his dad.
Well, he's up right now. He's
story.
busy.
Well, it's 2 outs. We can't start a story
I'm with you.
with 2 outs and
I'm
2
with you.
strikes. Give us a tease, though. Give us a preview.
Well, it has to do with his father, who I played with. That's where this goes.
Okay. That's good. Robinson Cano is lined out to right. We heard from a couple different people in asking about Wayne Chen and his start tonight and what they were looking for, whether it was coaches or people around the Marlins. And the one word that jumped out was conviction. They wanted to see him throw his pitches with conviction.
Body language.
One, two. Cano very good at this. Chewing up pitch counts, fighting off pitcher's pitches until he gets one that he likes. GP tweets in, just like a paid commercial spot, do you guys also take bids for saying or showing subliminals?
Not following.
So like when I dropped a Starbucks or Pike's Place and Fish Market.
Okay.
No, we don't. Even though I'm going to Top Pot Donuts tomorrow for the crew, I do not receive free donuts for that. At least Fox is under that understanding. Let's keep it that.
I've noticed that there's not a Pollo Tropical here. Did you notice that as well?
No, there's Ivers.
Oh.
All right. There is no Ivers.
I'm still looking for Pollo Tropical. I cannot find it anywhere.
Wait till we get home.
Oh, there you go.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Cano. And Chen misses outside. Well, the middle of this Seattle lineup really hasn't clicked yet, even though they both homered last night. Seattle has won 4 straight. Cano's got a couple homers. Cruz has a couple. And when they're going, man, then this offense starts to hum.
A lot of the damage this year for the Mariners done by Haniger, Motter, kind of sandwiched around those guys in the middle. They're really trying to get Kyle Seager going as well. You mentioned obviously Nelson Cruz and Robinson Cano, but around the game of baseball, Cano, Cruz, Seager kind of looked at that group of 3 that you love to have right there in the middle of your lineup. Lefty, righty, lefty. One of the best combinations in the game.
3-2 again. And a 10-pitch at bat for Robinson Cano, and he draws a walk. And that brings up Nelson Cruz, and that's the first bump in the road for Wei-Yin Chen. First base runner. He's got 2 outs here in the 4th. Cruz struck out in the 2nd. Obviously, Cano was the big contract and the big sign for Seattle. He's in his 4th year, but when they added Cruz, then they had some protection for Cano. And Cruz, you can look at that pitch right there. And Fox Tracks makes its initial appearance. That was in the box by a good margin. Ground ball short. Riddle, little flip. Gordon's there. Wei-Yin Chen, 4 no-hit innings here in Seattle. That was this day in Marlins history, brought to you by Geico. Giancarlo Stanton with a walk-off homer, and that was his 3rd career walk-off. That was to sweep Seattle in Miami. 3rd walk-off home run back in 2014, and that was mid-April as well. That was a question from Bob in Bonita, wanting to know if Stanton had ever had a walk-off homer. That one was a big one. I remember
gave me chills.
The other one he had even more chills. It was a grand slam on Mother's Day to beat the Mets with a pink bat, I believe.
Can't beat that.
No, JT Realmuto to the right side. And getting there is Valencia to cut it off, and Realmuto is out here in the 5th. If you're just happening by, if you're getting in late, or you're just heading out as well, it's 4-0 Miami in the 5th. Marlins got a run in the 1st, scratched out another in the 2nd against Giovanni Gallardo, and then Justin Bour went opposite field with distance for a 2-run homer in the 3rd. And here's Yelich, who was 2 for 2 tonight.
Can I try something for a second?
Go.
Late night with the fish. I like it.
Late night with the fish.
I just it's my
This
my,
is
my second late night. I just haven't had a chance to say it.
all right. Well, it's a tradition.
Right,
Here.
I get it.
I don't want to say you're the new guy,
Well,
but
I'm the new guy.
okay. But late night with the fish, when we're on the West Coast
Uh-huh.
and it's late at home, we used to have some really cool music, late night cool music, Hepcat stuff.
Sure.
But we lost that music.
Jazzy.
We didn't lose it physically. We lost the rights to it.
Got it.
But we have new music tonight. I'm proud to announce.
Well, I'm looking forward to this.
We have acquired new late night with the
Do
fish.
I need to
music.
talk with a deeper voice tonight? A little slower, a little drawn out.
Midnight East Coast, we debut it. You might want to get your smoking jacket on
I actually brought mine.
with some crevassier,
Yeah.
and then
Late
you'll be
night
good.
with the fish.
Do you just wait, pardon me. 1-2 to Yelich. And Gallardo misses up. Gallardo, born in Mexico, raised in Trimble, Texas. It didn't take him long to get to the big leagues with Milwaukee. He was there in 2007. Yelich takes up, and it's 3-2. Christian Yelich and the Marlins last night beaten 6-1. Yelich homered in the ninth and had 2 hits on a night when Miami had just 5. Oh, that almost caught the bag. At 3-2.
Kyle Seager over there, third baseman for the Mariners, looking at Christian Yelich like, what are you doing? I used to always laugh about that. That's the one shot for a left-handed hitter. Third baseman always shocked if a lefty can tuck one in that third base bag.
Email from Carlos Jr. Hey, Rhett, say hi to Brazil. A lot of baseball fans here. On to first. Well, thanks for watching. Obrigado. Time for the Toyota Inside Look, brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Let's go places, smoother waters. First 10 games, a 2-8 start, but this is the 4-game win streak that Seattle's on. More runs, better average, but look at the ERA. Funny how that works.
Good pitching. Some timely hitting. And that's we've been talking about up here in Seattle. This Mariners team, 2 issues. They're 2 big issues. Their bullpen was really kind of melting down for them early on, and ERA was up, and runners in scoring position for their offense was down.
Into the seats. Ball and a strike. Stanton struck out in the first. Flied out to center in the third. He has homered against Gallardo. And that one came in, caught the bat.
And you see that running action on his 2-seam fastball. That's what he was searching for a little earlier in the ball game. Obviously, Gallardo has settled down just a little bit. That 2-seam fastball has got that good action early on. Very straight. Marlins hitters all over his fastball up in the zone.
Slider down. Good identification from Stanton. Two. And he got him. Gallardo's always been able to spin it, and he gets a strike 3 on Stanton. 4-0 Miami. 4-0 ball game. Wei-Yin Chen has not given up a hit. And it's the bottom of the 5th here in Seattle. 4-0. Marlins on top. Email and Twitter Tuesday. Rich Waltz, Todd Hollinsworth. Good one here from South Carolina. I saw that Jessica Blaylock is going to try the Grasshoppers tonight at Safeco Field. How about you and Todd? That's from Connor in South Carolina. There's a strike to Kyle Seager.
Grasshoppers?
Yeah, not those minty candies that you make the cream de menthe or whatever.
Right. Well,
the popular adult beverage. There's a fastball that misses in. I'd be for one of those, but I'm flat out saying no way.
Nah, it wouldn't bother me one bit.
So you would eat it? You would try it? Really?
Wouldn't bother me one bit.
Really?
I mean, I would try anything. It doesn't, you know, like the shows that they've got on television. I'm not sure right off the top of my head where you have to live out on. I'm stumbling through this.
Survivor.
Survivor. Thank you.
Yes.
Right. Thank you for picking me up right there. Survivor. Yeah, I could do all that. That
Really?
doesn't bother me. Right. If we had to
So
pick up a frog or whatever.
If we brought Grasshoppers to the booth, you would look at the camera in the eye,
absolutely.
the viewing audience, and say,
Wouldn't bother me one bit.
Down the hatch.
Right down the hatch.
All right.
I'll do it.
Duly noted. I know Jess has been worried about this for when the schedule came out.
How could you worry about something that has been such a popular, delicatessen here? I mean, it was sold out. What, opening day? Is that what I heard? I mean, absolutely amazing. But yeah, it may be surprising to many.
Oh, that's a nice pick by Riddle, who spins and makes the throw to first in time. 6-3 on the putout.
See it right there. Pitch off the plate. Seager does his best to stay on it. JT Riddle goes to the forehand up the middle. Little spin move. Quick release. He's played a very nice shortstop.
That is probably the closest that Seattle has to a hit. And so here's Taylor Motter with one out. Fastball up and in. Motter homered in last night's ball game. Sends that one to center. Crowd into it. Yelich back on it. Yelich there. And he makes the catch, and Wei-Yin Chen continues to baffle Seattle. Taste of Miami is coming back to Marlins Park. Proceeds benefit the Marlins Foundation. Good time. Look at an entire squadron of chefs.
I'll eat it all.
I don't see any grasshoppers for you, pal.
All right.
And it all benefits the Marlins Foundation. Go to marlins.com/taste of Miami. Charles Johnson is there. Smart man. Look at Mike Lowell in the background. And you can be there as well. Here's Danny Valencia with 2 outs.
Now, grasshoppers aren't my thing. I'm not going to lie about that. I'm just, I would have no issue trying it. Now, would you have any issue trying it?
Oh, absolutely. I've been on the record as saying no way.
No way?
No way. No grasshoppers, no beetles.
Spiders?
No, man. I don't. I'm more into.
Eel?
I think it's wild as I'll go is quinoa.
Okay.
How's that? Valencia fouls it back to the screen. Well, this is the Wei-Yin Chen that we saw at Citi Field on that cold night in New York. And whatever that was then, he lost it against the Mets in Miami, but he's recaptured it here.
Well, it's not the stuff that changed. It's where he put the stuff that it was the biggest difference between those two starts. And what I mean is that he has to be a four-pitch mix pitcher. He doesn't go out and throw 75 fastballs in a ball game unless he's dialed in on the low corners and think he's going to get away with it all game long. He has to introduce his breaking pitches, change speeds, as you see right there.
In the air, right field. Stanton is in. Wei-Yin Chen has 5 no-hit innings here in Seattle. Justin Bour coming up. 2-run homer. But not his biggest play of the day. You knew it. Obligatory Pike Place marker shot. Look at that sucker.
There you want it.
In Seattle tonight, 4-0 Miami. Justin Bour. Another round with Yovani Gallardo, with Marcell Ozuna and Derek Dietrich to follow. Here we are. Look at how well Todd Hollandsworth cleans up in the middle. There's 49 degrees. Roof is closed. There was rain in the area. Jessica Blaylock will apparently try the grasshoppers here soon. So if you want to put that picture up here in another 2 innings, you might shade it green. There's the 1-1 to Bour, and it's in. And of course, it's emails and tweets tonight. It's our social media night. It's a tradition we started long ago, before there even was Twitter. It was Email Tuesday. Now it's Twitter Tuesday, and we still take emails as well.
It's been brought to my attention that Jessica's being a bit of a weenie about this.
Bour finds green grass, and the hit's starting to come for Justin Bour, and that's good to see. The big first baseman is 2 for 3 tonight. Coors cold hard fact: since 2014, the Marlins entering tonight singles. They are the singles leader.
Oh, there you go. 3,133. And guess what? Coming into tonight's ball game, leading Major League Baseball in singles with 91, tied with the Boston Red Sox.
Here's Ozuna. He nearly hit a 3-run homer in the first. Roller on the ground. Cano, backhand. Motter, throw to first. And I would expect that the Marlins are going to look at that replay just to make sure Motter kept his foot on the bag. Cano is a great defensive second baseman, but I think if he had the chance to do that over, he might not backhand flip it.
Well, that's exactly right. You see him get in front of it, not terribly hit hard. He tried to get rid of it quickly right there, but the backhand from about 30 feet away kind of put that ball in the air, and it was kind of suspended for a little bit. Motter had to wait on it. No chance at first base, but they did get the out at second.
And you could see Motter just get it with his toe. And so Ozuna is out. Here's Dietrich, who was singled and bounced out. And a pitch in the dirt. Luis is down to knock it down. In Seattle's bullpen, action with Gallardo working here in the 6th. 84 pitches in.
Hard-throwing James Pazos is up.
Pazos, a Yankee last year. Dietrich swings and misses. Broken bat, and that's going to land in right field. That's the second hit that Dietrich, on a busted bat, has been able to get into right field.
He'll take it, and there's no complaining. That is for sure. Gets in on him just a little bit, but a good swing. It's really just kind of where he gets it on the bat. Strong enough to get it out into right field for his second hit of the night. Sets the Marlins up again. Opportunity to score some more runs here in the top of the 6th.
And you got A.J. Ellis coming up against Gallardo. We've talked about Ellis's success against him. Now 6 for 12. Pazos, the lefty, is just about ready. And he's probably ready for Riddle and Gordon, the two lefty bats who follow Ellis. We have a variety of people tweeting and emailing in that they have checked the Pollo Tropical map, and there's nothing near the Northwest.
I appreciate all of your enthusiasm, but I was merely doing what you requested, which is to plug one of my favorite restaurants. I mean, I'm fairly new to Miami. My kids love it. I was just giving a shout out.
Fair enough.
But we're getting a lot of great responses and good answers on Twitter.
Ellis takes outside. Ellis in the air. And Haniger is there, and he makes a catch. And Gallardo has the second out. Let's see if Riddle gets to face him here. Marlins Ballpark Pass will give you ultimate flexibility, the convenience of mobile ticketing, and the excitement of Marlins baseball. For $199, Marlins Ballpark Pass includes 20 mobile tickets that you could use for home games in April, May, or June 2017. Some restrictions apply. Mel Stottlemyre Jr., the pitching coach, is on his way out. And he and Gallardo will chat about it. D. Gordon is on deck. Riddle is at the plate. And so Gallardo will face JT Riddle, who has a sacrifice and line to third.
Well, that little meeting right there goes something like this. It's probably your last hitter. Give it everything you've got. Get us out of this inning and keep it here at 4-0 Marlins. Choosing to keep Gallardo in the ball game. Martin Prado still waiting in the wings down there. Could potentially pinch hit tonight.
Just before that pitch, Kyle Seager, Seattle's third baseman, took about 4 steps to his left. He's way off the line down the third base line.
Clearly he heard about his check swing base hit.
Yes, the one that bounced to the plate.
That's correct.
First major league hit. Took a rip at the 1-0 pitch, and it's a ball and a strike. There's the pitch count. Gallardo 20 in the first. Miami got a run there, got a run in the second. Bour hit the 2-run homer in the third. And that's how it's arrived here at 4-0. change speeds.
And you see how Gallardo has been working him tonight. Fastballs at his hands, up in the zone, and changeups down out of the zone. Trying to speed him up and slow him down at the same time.
Pitch is down and out. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gordon watches. You got Ozuna at second. And the trail runner is Derek Dietrich at first. And Riddle swings and misses and strikes out. So Gallardo gets through 6. 4-0 Miami. Wei-Yin Chen, a masterpiece tonight.
A treat that you won't find anywhere else. It's chili lime roasted grasshoppers. Yes, that's right, chili lime roasted grasshoppers. Now, the ballpark wasn't sure how the item would do, but on opening day, they ended up selling 13 pounds. So it has been a success, and I am going to be brave, and I am going to attempt to try the grasshoppers. Now, I checked. They did not offer them covered in chocolate. That is unfortunate, so I am just going to have to deal with the chili lime flavor. Okay, here we go. There is a leg in there. There's a leg in there. I'm not eating the leg. Oh my God. Any more of these. I'm still working on it.
So, you have said you're happy to try those, right?
Anytime.
All right. Jess, if you're out there, if you could bring some of those to the booth, my buddy here would like to sample them. Meanwhile, what Jess was screaming is exactly what's happening. No, as in no hits for Seattle. Bottom 6, this is Dyson, and he chops it towards Gordon. 2 big hops, fires to first, and Wei-Yin Chen has the first 2 outs here in the 6th.
Well, there's an incredible theme going on. It's not just a no-hitter, it's off-balance swings for the Mariners, and that's what Chen is creating. Mixing his pitches. You've seen it. Starting guys off with curveballs, backing it up with the fastball, starting them off with the fastball, using the changeup, working around the zone. You've seen a lot of weak contact, which is a huge part of his game. And when you start to see that weak contact and you see it consistently, you get results like this.
That was Dyson bouncing out. Here is Heredia. He's bounced out. popped out. He runs up to bunt. Mark Wegner, the first base umpire, says he did not offer at it.
Ferretti is responsible for keeping this within reach, so to speak. Great catch early in the ball game,
robbing Ozuna of a 3-run homer. He pops this up back behind first. Gordon in the territory makes the catch, and Wei-Yin Chen has put 6 no-hit innings up on the board. How about this? It's 4-0 Miami. Wei-Yin Chen has a no-hitter going through 6. Miami is on top 4-0. Jessica Blaylock tried the Grasshoppers and nearly passed out, and they've revived her and brought her to the booth. My partner Todd Hollinsworth brazenly said, Grasshoppers, no problem, I'll try them. And so Jess, once she's back on her feet, has brought these morsels to the booth. So.
Ask and ye shall receive.
It's not a problem. I just want to know what happened down there.
Well, I want to know, are you going to eat the leg? Are you going to eat the thorax?
I'll eat whatever you want.
Are you going to eat the head? Are you going to eat the antenna?
What would you like for me to try?
I've heard the thorax is the most tender.
Oh.
That? It looks chewy.
Oh, man.
Spicy. Not bad, though.
I couldn't even watch.
Let me try the head.
He's going for the head. Have you had a thorax yet?
Wow, see that right there? It's got like a little, there's a little explosion in your mouth, right? So there's whatever's on the inside.
That was the problem. That was part of the problem.
That's crunchy. Not bad.
Look at that.
Good.
So you are not going to eat one. You have decided no.
No. D. Gordon, into center field. I decided no. He's the major leaguer. I'm merely
I will say that the chili is a bit overwhelming. I mean, honestly, I'd be more. I
think they.
I wasn't even
very
thinking
powerful.
about the chili. I was thinking about the fact that there was
the
body of a grasshopper.
The grasshopper doesn't bother
mouth.
me. It's actually the chili. It's the temperature in my mouth right now.
I think that's by.
So
I think that's by design.
Well, I must
but
be.
I do like your idea of the chocolate. Jess, we'll see you on postgame.
Sounds good.
All right. Very nice. James Pazos is in for Seattle. JT Realmuto at the plate, top of the order for Miami. What a night for Wei-Yin Chen. Nobody talking to him on the bench. Seattle without a hit here. He's only got 76 pitches, which means he has a good number of pitches to where if he keeps this up, he's got a shot. And we've seen guys, Adam Conley in particular, Dan Straley in his last start, who get to this point and haven't given up a hit, but they've got 95 pitches, and there's no way that Don Mattingly's going to leave them in and rack up 130 pitches going for a no-hitter. But at this pitch count, Chen's got a shot. But he's also got a pretty good offensive team, or at least a hot offensive team in Seattle. What they did in sweeping Texas and then beating the Marlins last night 6-1. All right, and whenever this happens, you get this certainly on social media, but it's emails tonight, so we're reading them. Emilio, please quit jinxing the Marlin pitchers attempting to pitch no-hitters. Don't you know that you're not supposed to say no-hitter when a pitcher's trying to pitch one? It's bad luck, and it's an unwritten baseball rule. Emilio, as a young broadcaster, you often look to other broadcasters for advice and sometimes follow their lead. And if it's okay with Vince Scully, it's okay by me. When Scully was once asked why he used no-hitter when describing a no-hitter, because Vince Scully said, it's important for me to inform people what's happening. There may be fans that are coming in and out of the game that aren't aware of the hits and what's about to transpire. So on my bracelet it says, what would Vin do? And if it's okay with Vin, it's okay with me. 4-0, Marlins on top. Marlins on top. The only blemish for Wei-Yin Chen tonight was a 4th inning walk, a 10-pitch walk to Robinson Cano. There really haven't been that many hard hit balls. The closest Seattle has come to a hit was Kyle Seager's sharp grounder. JT Riddle made a really nice pick and a spinning throw to get Seager at first. 7th inning, heart of the order, Haniger, Cano, and Cruz for Seattle. And Chen's breaking ball is a strike.
It's done that many times tonight. If you're just tuning in, you say, what is different with Chen tonight than his last start? The word conviction is being thrown around, and that was the target word coming into tonight's start for many around the Marlins. Pitching with a purpose. It wasn't his stuff in his last start. His stuff was there. It was good. Certainly he had moments. The Mets were able to kind of get him off his game a little bit. Tonight, right back at him. So similar to his first start of the season, where he is putting what he wants to throw where he wants to throw.
Juan Nieves knows exactly what's going through Wei-Yin Chen's mind right now. Nieves, because of an injury, had his major league career shortened to just 3 seasons with Milwaukee. But he threw a no-hitter. So he knows the psychology that's going on here. The 1-2 in the dirt from Chen. Haniger, as you pointed out, Todd, one of the 2 guys that has helped keep Seattle's offense going in the absence of the big guns slumping. Taylor Motter, the other guy. Chen misses away, and it's 3-2. Full count, 3-2. 90 miles an hour on that fastball. Adam Conley has been here before. Remember Milwaukee? He got 2 outs in the 8th inning and was pulled because of pitch count. Oof. Wow, that was close. Here's a look. And it was down.
Just below the zone.
So Haniger walks. Here's Cano.
We've talked about throughout the first 2 games here in Seattle. Haniger has really been putting it together. That's 19 consecutive games he's reached base.
And Cano, if you're looking for quality of at bat, I think Cano's had 2 of the better ones tonight. He lined to right in the first, and then that 10-pitch walk in the 4th. So there's not a lot of mystery between Cano and Chen. And of course, Cano career in the American League, Chen 4 years with Baltimore.
7 for 31 coming into tonight's ballgame. Chen has the upper hand in head-to-head matchups. Slight shift by the Marlins for Cano, even lefty on lefty.
Grounded to Gordon. Got one, and Riddle's relay is not in time. And so Chen gets an out. Cano at first. And now you've got Nelson Cruz and then Kyle Seager. Not sure what the Marlins are looking at, but the Marlins right now we're reviewing may have been the slide at second base, because the play at first was not in question. Don Mattingly at Lucas, the replay coach, taking an extra look at that slide at second. Here's Cruz. He is struck out and bounced into a fielder's choice. And that's a strike. Here's the slide at second. They were looking for a leg, but I don't think there was enough of one.
Well, he was also able to maintain contact with the bag, and that's what you're looking for on the runner.
Pitch in, it hit him. It grazed that elbow guard. And so a walk and a hit batter here. And up comes Seager. And you can hear the double click.
A little bit right there. Yep, just off the elbow pad. A couple runners on right here. It's Kyle Seager to the plate. Chen has had great numbers throughout his career against Seager. Lefty on lefty matchup, now 2 for 25 against Chen in his career.
Here comes Juan Nieves to the mound. Brad Ziegler is getting ready. Seattle doesn't have a hit, but they're a swing away from making this a 1-run game. And that's the importance for John Mattingly to have somebody ready. You see Tim Wallach on the phone right now. Scott Service in Seattle looking down their lineup card. A strike. And it's 0-1. Along with that pitch count, you also have to go back and look for stressful innings. And to be honest with you, I can't find one. And this is probably the most stress he's had this ball game.
This is it.
Seager fouls it back, and it's 0-2.
He is locked in right now. He continues to make pitches to both sides of the plate. You see right there the pitch count by inning. Well, other than a pitch that grazed Nelson Cruz, that maybe would hint at losing it a little bit, but all in all, I think that was actually as much a purpose pitch to keep Nelson Cruz standing up straight in the box, and it just kind of happened to clip him. Chen right back at Seager with a couple of strikes.
Cano at second, Cruz at first. And Seager fouls it back and out of play. Now Chen hasn't been overpowering in terms of strikeouts. He has just one. He's walked two, he's hit a batter. But he has been overpowering when you think about bad contact, which is essentially what Seattle's night has been all about.
Well, he set the tone for these at-bats. I mean, we've watched Nelson Cruz off balance, Robbie Cano having to battle 10 pitches just to draw a walk. Guys fouling off balls late, early, in between.
0-2 pitch. Breaking ball, Ellis out to smother it. And it's 1-2.
The first three pitches to Seager in this at-bat are so anti-lefty on lefty. He challenged him 3 times with fastballs on the inside part of the plate as a left-handed batter getting into the box. You're not looking for fastballs in from lefties. You're thinking you may see one occasionally, but it's typically fastballs away, sliders away. But Chen, again, working both sides of the plate to the lefties and the righties.
1-2. Got him. Running fastball. He kept it away. And at 91 miles an hour, he got it by Kyle Seager. And there's 2 outs here in the 7th.
Chen beautifully set this entire at-bat up. You see Seager right there flailing at the fastball away. Saw fastballs in early, fastball away late. Hitters, you typically commit to one side of the plate. You game plan that way, and Chen able to go and dictate that at bat from start to finish.
All right, here's Motter, and he's had 2 pretty good swings. 2 fly ball outs that were well hit. He goes after a breaking ball, and it's 0-1.
I think Motter has had actually the best at bats tonight. Gave me the impression that he just missed one on his first fly ball early in the ball game to left. The one that he hit to center field, he hit to the warning track. So big out here for Chen.
Ball and a strike. This has been a 19-pitch inning for Chen. He's at 95. That was close. Motter checked his swing. Two and 1. Fouls it back, goes after a fastball, and it's 2-2. Wei Chen, the 31-year-old out of Taiwan. Two and two to Taylor Motter. And he did not go after a changeup that died in the dirt just outside.
Yeah, that was a good pitch right there. Tried to go to the changeup. Motter has been on the fastball tonight. Now, he was able to get that weak fly ball that just one missed when we talked about earlier in the ball game. Motter hit a changeup on that pitch, so good try right there by Chen.
Full count, 2 outs, runners on the move. And Motter stays alive.
Now that's a great example of how good Chen feels tonight, Rich. Backing up his changeup, the one he just threw in the dirt, went out there again, threw another changeup out there on the outside corner. He is just trusting his pitches right now. He and AJ in a great rhythm. See that little fist pump from AJ. He knows how big this pitch is.
Cano and Cruz on the move again. 3-2 to Motter. In the air, back behind third. Dietrich is there, and he's got it. And Wei Chen has thrown 7 no-hit innings here in Seattle. And Miami leads 4-0. How about this? Interpreter and Don Mattingly, and you can see Juan Nieves, Marlins pitching coach, right there. And now Mattingly back down to the other end of the dugout. And so Chen at 100 pitches has not given up a hit. And well, here comes Mattingly again, and that's it. And it looked like, having watched that, after Mattingly and Nieves heard what Chen had to say through his interpreter, they went down the other end of the dugout. They had a conversation. Mattingly came back, and Chen is done for the night.
See the hug and the fist pump from AJ Ellis. He knows how important tonight's start was and the improvement from his last start to where he is. AJ had a huge hand in that.
Now, let me ask you this. He's at 100 pitches. A couple things to consider here. In his first 2 starts, he threw 86 pitches and 56 pitches. We talked about not having a stressful inning until that last inning. And his highest pitch count by inning in that, the 7th inning. And so maybe that, which of those factors do you think weighed most on Don Mattingly and Juan Nieves' mind?
I think the pitch count. You have to remember, he's 2 innings away from this being a final story, a final chapter, if you will, and he's at 100 pitches right now. And I think what you do in this situation is you make the decision that could only get tougher if you find yourself in the middle of the 8th with runners on base, or the middle of the 9th with runners on base, and an escalating pitch count. And it's as simple as that. He's at 100 pitches right now, hasn't been there yet this season. He's coming off the start that he's coming off of. You're in a position where this feels like the right decision. No matter what we've seen, no matter what we think of as far as pressure innings are concerned, the fact that he's at 100 pitches right now, see up and in right there.
Yeah, Stanton, that's not a pleasant memory for him. Tony Zick is the pitcher for Seattle. Zick takes over for Pazos.
I just really believe that they wanted a clear-cut direction at the end of the 7th inning as opposed to kind of feeling their way through the 8th inning.
I guess another factor would be if this were August or July or June, after Chen, who had an injury-filled year last year, had been stretched out. Maybe that would make a difference as well. Those are all questions that Don Mattingly will be asked. Swing and a miss. Stanton strikes out. Those are all questions that Don Mattingly will be asked, and those are all answers that we will have on Marlins Live after the ball game. So Zick strikes out Stanton. Justin Bour, Marcell Ozuna, 4-0 Miami. Justin Bour.
Base hit to center field. Big home run to left field tonight. Zick, one of the power arms in this Mariners bullpen. 4 individuals, 95 plus. You've already seen that from Zick. Good slider that he throws right there, 40% of the time.
When's the last time, if it is Ziegler that comes in, when's the last time that 2 pitchers in the game for opposing teams start with a letter Z?
It's a very good question. One I don't have the answer to. We'll work on that.
All right. Research that, will you? Wait a minute. You have people to do that. You worry about eating.
That's why I'm pushing buttons over.
You worry about analyzing and eating grasshoppers.
Thank you.
Which I hope you were here for Jessica Blaylock's attempt to eat the now infamous grasshoppers here in Seattle. My partner Todd Hollinsworth ate a head, a leg, and I believe a thorax.
I believe so.
And I don't know that you tasted the antenna.
Make that happen if you want.
Ozuna. And Ozuna takes a breaking ball for a strike. But the story here tonight is that Wei and Chen had 7 no-hit innings, but at 100 pitches, all indications are he's out of the game, and the Marlins are going to the bullpen, and Brad Ziegler will take over. Ziegler looking up at that giant scoreboard in center field. Breaking ball misses out.
You see that frisbee action on Zick's slider right there. Marcell Ozuna had a hard time picking that one up.
And of course, you remember on Sunday, Dan Straley went 5 1/3 innings, didn't give up a hit. And the Mets got their first hit in the 8th inning. This is Carlos Ruiz who makes the catch. So Brad Ziegler will take the ball now and try to keep the zeros coming in the 8th. Afternoon, a Wednesday showdown driven by GMC. King Felix and his court will be here tomorrow. Edinson Volquez goes for the Fish. Marlins Live starts it at 3 o'clock. Back home, Eastern Time, it's a local 12:40 first pitch. This is a familiar spot for Brad Ziegler, isn't it? We were talking about Dan Straley's start on the Sunday game against the Mets, and the Marlins with Straley for 5 1/3 and help from there. Harlan Garcia and Kyle Barraclough got to the 8th without giving up a hit to the Mets. And here is Ziegler in the same spot, but on a different coast. And about 3,000 miles away from that, Ziegler has Danny Valencia, Carlos Ruiz's spot, but Leonis Martin is on deck, and then you've got Gerard Dyson. 3 infielders on the left side. That one fouled at the plate. Miguel Rojas is into the ball game, defensive replacement for Derek Dietrich.
Brad Ziegler, you're going to see the sinker, the slider, the changeup. See that changeup at times can be in and out of the zone. He's looking for bad contact, kind of keep the theme of Chen, what he did so well tonight. Ziegler's the next perfect candidate for this position. See it right there. Hitters end up out on their front foot, reaching, trying to make contact with the ball. Chen did such a fantastic job tonight, changing speeds and location.
Into the bat, and that one squirts down the first baseline foul. And of course, Valencia, who's been with a lot of teams, finished his college career at the University of Miami. That was close. Here's a look.
You get an ooh from Valencia as well, no doubt about it.
It was out.
Thought it was close.
It was out. Fox Track shows you that.
A little bit.
3-2. Bouncer to short. Riddle to first in time. And there's an out. Hey, Jay has this tweet. I know we're caught up in no-hitter excitement, but it's past midnight. Where's the new Late Night with the Fish theme music?
A little snare drum here in the background.
Yeah.
A little bit. I like it. Last year's better version.
Oh, last year's good times. Little dribbler. First base side. Ziegler has it. Fires to first. Got him. Wow. Martin is out by a step. Ziegler probably had his best velocity of the night on that throw. And watch Bour.
To first base you're talking about.
Watch Bour. Went and got it.
Well, he made a play right there. Ziegler comes into the game. Sure, he's ready to pounce, but you've got a pinch hitter right there who's trying to get something done as well. All sorts of chaos on that one.
Gerard Dyson, who has bounced to second twice. He has great speed. And a strike, and it's 1-1. So Ziegler trying to get through the 8th. He's out in front 1-2. Miami has never had a combined no-hitter. They've had plenty of individual ones. Uh-oh, end of the bat, tough play. Rojas got him! Miguel Rojas charging. Dyson can absolutely fly, and the no-hitter is intact by an eyelash at first base. 4-0 Miami. We told you we always have a treat for you, and that treat tonight comes in the form of a very real possibility. The Marlins get their first combined no-hitter. Here are the no-hitters in Marlins history: Al Leiter, Kevin Brown, A.J. Burnett, Anibal Sanchez, and Henderson Alvarez. And of course, Alvarez the most unique among them, in that Alvarez finished the game in the on-deck circle. It was a scoreless game against the Tigers, and Alvarez was the on-deck hitter when the only run of the game scored on a wild pitch, and he got his no-hitter. But you'll have to wait on that. I'll tell you what, the play that that guy just made, Miguel Rojas, helped keep this no-hitter going. Danny Altavilla is the fourth arm to work for Scott Service. Altavilla up the middle, Rojas. What a start to 2017 Miguel Rojas has had defensively and offensively. MLB.com is your #1 mobile app. Live Marlins baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. You get home screen icons, app features, as well as game day video highlights, radio broadcast, StatCast news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. Well, here's A.J. Ellis. Now, we were talking about Juan Nieves and how Nieves is a young Milwaukee Brewer, threw a no-hitter. A.J. Ellis has been behind the plates, and a Clayton Kershaw. No
surprise there. One of the most well-respected catchers in the game. Very nice career.
Seattle's made a change behind their plate. Remember, they pinch hit for Ruiz. This is Mike Zunino. Ellis tonight is 1 for 3. 4 runs, 10 hits for Miami. Runner goes. Rojas a running lead, and he's going to get the bag. Ball rolls into center, and Rojas is going to take third. It's that old axiom that base running coaches will tell you. It doesn't matter that you're lead, but if you're moving when you start, you have a big advantage.
Well, yeah, getting the great jump is certainly it, but stealing on a catcher who just came into the ballgame, it's exactly what you want to see as well. You see it right there, gets the great jump, tailing well off the second base bag, able to get himself to third base.
Infield in now, and Ellis with a 2-1 pitch coming. Little dribbler Altavilla off the mound, fires to first, and Valencia comes off after making the catch and gets the out. Well, this is interesting. It's Kyle Bearclaw down there. Remember, A.J. Ramos had a heavy workload on that last homestand. We're at 3 runs or less. Not sure.
Non-save situation. Marlins with a 4-0 lead, looking to add on right now.
Here's Riddle, and Riddle takes outside. Infield still in. JT has a sacrifice. He's lined out and he's struck out.
Altavilla in the game for the Mariners. Big arm, very high on him. 24-year-old, 95, 97. He's hit 99 miles an hour already this year.
Count 2-0 here. Riddle set down a nice bunt in the second, so don't discount that possibility here with 1 out and a runner at third. That runner is Rojas. He's had himself in some good hitters counts tonight.
Well, they've challenged. Gallardo challenged him up in the zone. A lot of those good passes have been down in the zone. If you notice about JT Riddle and his swing, they've tried to get him out up in the zone. So the question is, can he do a better job of getting on top of that ball or get a better fastball to hit down in the zone? See, there it is. Went right back up the ladder, and that's what he's been seeing a lot of. And you get tested as a young player at this level. You start to have success, they're willing to move the ball around the strike zone. Over the first couple games here, they've been challenging him right there. You see just above the belt. An easy pitch to hit at 98 miles an hour.
Even in slow motion, 98 is a blur.
It is.
2-2. Smoke to right. Haniger makes the catch. Rojas will tag, and Miami has their 5th run of the night. JT Riddle delivers.
Job well done by JT Riddle right there. Swings like that build the confidence of a young player.
So it's Bearclaw in the bullpen. Here's who's due up for Seattle: Heredia, Haniger, and then you get back to Cano. So it's the top of the order for Seattle. Right now, Miami has a combined no-hitter. 7 brilliant innings from Wei-Yin Chen, and a 1-2-3 8th inning from Brad Ziegler. Miami has 5 no-hitters in their history, and they've never had a combined no-hitter. But it's the top of the order, and you got some pretty good bats in there. Haniger's been hot. Cano has had good at-bats in this series, and he's Robinson Cano. Gordon pulls that one foul. D. Gordon set the tone tonight. First pitch he saw, he drilled in the gap in right center field for a double. He would end up scoring on Christian Yelich's infield hit. And Miami was often moving against Giovanni Gallardo. A Justin Bour 2-run homer was a big shot as well. Got it. D. Gordon goes down. The Marlins are looking for a no-hitter. They need 3 outs from Kyle Bearclaw to do it. 5-0. Marlins baseball, Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By Jeep, get great deals on the Jeep lineup at Jeep Spring Clearance Event, and by your South Florida Honda dealers. In the Emerald City tonight, Miami has a 5-0 lead, but the big story is Seattle does not have a hit, and Miami is 3 outs away from their first combined no-hitter. 7 innings from Wei-In Chen. He was brilliant. 100 pitches. Brad Ziegler got 3 ground ball outs in a 1-2-3-8. And now you got Kyle Barraclough, who led National League relievers in strikeouts per 9 inning last year. Barraclough gets the top of Seattle's order. Guillermo Heredia, Mitch Haniger, and then Robinson Cano. Nelson Cruz scheduled 4th for the inning. And that's 95. And that's strike 1. And it's Mike Freeman who gets the at-bat. And he'll pinch hit for Heredia. And so Freeman, a native of Orlando, Edgewater High School in Orlando, looks at another pitch at 94 miles an hour. And it's 0-2. So Freeman pinch hits. Haniger's on deck.
Another late swing by Freeman. Having a hard time picking up the fastball from Barraclough.
Of course, the wipeout pitch for Barraclough is a sharp slider. 0-2.
There it is.
And Freeman holds up.
That's a good pitch right there. Got him thinking about something else. Remember, history still on the side of the Marlins in this situation. Kyle Barraclough.
Freeman last year was in AAA and in the big leagues in both Arizona and Seattle's organization. So he was up and down last year. Ellis calls for another slay. He went. Freeman went. Ellis digs it out. 1 out here in the 9th inning. And Miami is 2 outs away. And now here comes Haniger, who has been one of the hottest Mariner hitters through the first 2 weeks of the season. And you've got Cano on deck. Three infielders left side of the infield. And a big swing by Haniger. And it's 0-1. Ozuna, Yelich, and Stanton in the outfield are straight up and not too deep. 0-1. And a little too much juice on that slider.
No, he's burying the slider. That's where you want to see it, down in the dirt, changing the eye level of the hitters. That pitch serves a purpose, not just to get swings and misses, to remind the hitters that he will throw it.
Kevin Brown, Al Leiter, A.J. Burnett, Anibal Sanchez, and Henderson Alvarez. But those were all solo acts. Wei-In Chen threw 100 pitches through 7 innings, and after deliberating and speaking to Chen through an interpreter, Don Mattingly, Juan Nieves then conferred. They decided to pull Chen after 7 innings. Brad Ziegler got 3 outs in the 8th. Here's a 2-1. Liner to right, and it's in there for a hit. To the wall it goes, and Haniger has broken up the no-hitter.
Man.
So the Marlins, for the second time in 3 games, flirt with a combined no-hitter. They had a combined no-hitter into the 8th inning on Sunday, and here they take it to 1 out in the 9th inning.
It speaks to how how good the pitching has been. I mean, it really has this year. Don Mattingly has done a masterful job using the bullpen, the starters, the combination of the two. And Marlins are averaging more innings from their bullpen right now than anybody in baseball, so it has been a challenge. But see the swing right here. It almost seems, if it was going to happen, that this would be the man who would do it. The Mariners' most consistent and hottest hitter in the early going, Mitch Haniger.
Here is Cano. And he takes a strike.
See the swing one more time. Stays back, gets the fastball away, and drives it the other way. Haniger now 12-game hitting streak.
And so obviously the goal now for Bearclaws, just shut it down. Remember, Miami lost the no-hitter against the Mets on Sunday in the 8th. And then the Mets came back and tied the game with 2 runs in the 9th. Now a bigger cushion here. It's 5-0.
Still want to make pitches. Still have to go through the heart of the Mariners lineup. They've been hot over this winning streak. 7 home runs over their last 4 wins. Stay aggressive, as you see right there. He is 0-2. Robinson Cano.
Change up, and Bearclaw gets him with a sharp hook of the slider, and down goes Cano.
Take a look at it one time. We've seen it a few times tonight, but it's so effective. Hitters have such a hard time picking up the spin of that pitch. Look at the late movement right there. Robinson Cano gives up on that swing. He knows that ball's now in the dirt, and nothing that swing can do to even find contact.
Here is Nelson Cruz. Cruz has struck out, bounced into a fielder's choice, was hit by a pitch. So there'll be no no-hitter tonight. But, and that's, I mean, to get to the 8th inning on Sunday and then into the 9th inning here 2 days later, it was a Dan Straley start on Sunday. That's a liner to right. Stanton is there. Got it! Ball game, and Miami wins it and narrowly misses a combined no-hitter. Kyle Bearclaw and A.J. Ellis talking about what could have been and what was narrowly missed. Well, but a nice win, obviously, for the ball club here to even this series at a game apiece.
Easily the most important thing in this ball game is certainly picking up the win, the home run from Bour. Great start from Chen. Yes, you want the no-hitter. It was a good piece of hitting on a tough pitch. Sometimes those things happen in the game of baseball, but a nice comeback after last night's game.
So the Marlins win it.